I've spent most of my life working with sustainability issues in a general perspective, like the environmental sustainability and social responsibility and sustainability. And I know how difficult it is to be the driving force and to take steps forward that are really huge and important when not everyone else in your sector is doing the same thing. But I have also seen during these years how important it is that it is someone who dares to take that step forward and also can inspire others to do more for the sustainability, long-term sustainability of the environment and the people. So now we will have a discussion with Peter Wiklöf, who is the CEO of Ålandsbanken, and he will start by telling us a little bit how they have worked with how to inspire people to change their behavior when it comes to sustainability. So the floor is yours, Peter.
Thank you. Let's see. Right. Should have realized that you don't wear a tie on a gambling seminar, but
okay.
But okay, you're my soulmate. Thank you, Sverker. I'm the CEO of Ålandsbanken. I've been with the bank now for 25 years and have the fortune to do a lot of different things within the bank. But since 2008, I've been the CEO. And for those that really doesn't know that much about Ålandsbanken, we are the oldest commercial bank in Finland. Soon we will take the first century, founded in 1919. And actually, if you look at that list, then crisis has been in relative terms, it's been quite good for Ålandsbanken. We went to the Helsinki Stock Exchange during the Second World War, 1942. We went outside Åland first time actually after the banking crisis. Then we went to the Finnish mainland. We used I would say the dot-com boom and IT boom in the millennium to actually exploit our IT skills and started to sell our own ITs. Today we deliver IT for banks in both Sweden and in Finland, all from internet banking, mobile banking, core banking, capital market system. We do everything actually. And the last crisis, the crisis that still is going on actually, then in 2009 we entered into Sweden. So crisis from that perspective have been quite good. And today we have 5.5 billion in assets, more than 100,000 customers. We say that we are three markets actually, then Finnish mainland, Sweden and Åland. And our strategy is in that way a bit different because Åland, here we are everybody's bank and we want we are a full service bank that want to provide service for all people living on Åland Island and all the companies and entrepreneurs. Looking outside Åland, we are more of a niche player, private banking, affluent banking. You don't have to be rich to be a customer in Ålandsbanken, but your scale of economy have to be that kind that we actually can come in and do advice, because we think that it's there we can do different. We don't sell any products actually, but delivering a service and all the knowledge around that together with you, then we can actually differentiate from the other banks. And that we have said actually in how do we behave and how to differentiate from the big banks. And what we say then, the Bank of Åland generates value for individuals and companies by delivering a large bank's range of services with a smaller bank's thoughtfulness and sense of dedication. Med den lilla bankens omtanke och förnuft. That's really actually where you can differentiate from the big banks. Because big banks today, what are they? It's process industry. It's a process industry. You have to put everybody into the same pocket and make sure that you do it in a very efficient way and sell products on them. And it works very well, extremely well. And I often get the question that when we look at satisfaction rates in Sweden, then why doesn't the Swedish customer change bank? And this is actually a EPSI rating that is done yearly since 1989. And what is the feeling about the Swedish bank customer of the banks at the moment? Well, what we see is that the trend is going down. It's done that from the last 7-8 years. Satisfaction rate coming down really, really fast. At the moment, the bank that struggles the most is Nordea, 52.9, and it's because this is average. Swedbank also very, very low. And when they ask me why don't the Swedish customers change bank, I say, where should they go? Where should they go? Of course they don't change bank, because there's no difference changing from Nordea to Swedbank, from Swedbank to Handelsbanken, from Handelsbanken to Danske Bank. It's the same. For SEB, the same. It's financial process industry, and they have the same products, the same way to behave, and they have the same targets. If you look at from an economic scale, what are they aiming for? So if you do the exact same thing in the exact same way with the same goal, it will not differentiate. So the Swedish customer, they don't have anywhere to go. That's why they don't change bank. If you look at what they say in that survey, actually, very through, they say relationship between citizenship and customer satisfaction is becoming stronger. In 2008, when we were considering going into Sweden, we did a pre-study. We asked the Swedish customers, what do you really want from your bank? And what did the Swedes say? Well, they say that we want a bank that we can trust. We want a bank that we can rely on, that will be there also in the long run. We want to feel that when we sit with that guy on the other side, that actually he's an advisor. Today we feel that he's just selling products on you. And when we saw that survey, we said, wow, do you see what the Swedish customers say? They want Ålandsbanken. They want Ålandsbanken. There should be no doubt that we are there to earn money. Of course we want to earn money. But the way to earn money can't not be like being a small Nordea. We have to do it in a different way. And what we say that we are there in the long run, and we think we have an advantage actually coming from this small society in Åland Islands. Because when I walk home in the afternoon or in the evening after work, I meet my customers, and I meet also my owners. So of course I can't say I love all the people living on Åland Islands. I can't say that, but I do have to behave so I can do business with them. So every time we have to come back and say that, of course, we couldn't do business but I cannot explain why I couldn't do the business earlier on. So let's look at new again. Sustainability. We look at sustainability in 4 different ways: responsible investments, responsible lending, social responsibility, and environmental responsibility. And if you look at big banks today, and in their annual reports, they have quite a big part of it is actually now sustainability. And if you read those, there are a lot of good things in it. I still don't think that many of those banks still lives in the world that we have those guys that work with sustainability. So let us other work with business. And in Ålandsbanken, we still don't have one single person that has sustainability actually in their arbetsbeskrivning. I don't know what. Job description. Sustainability, that word doesn't exist in. So we are almost 700 people, but no one actually works dedicated with sustainability. But on the other hand, we have realized that by accepting that we have people with huge engagement, and we know that our customers like the things that we are doing, so by letting those that have good ideas work with those, then I think we have come quite far. And one of those things that for more than 20 years ago, we started something called the environmental account. We realized that living on Åland Islands, what would the value of the islands be here if you couldn't swim in the sea or you couldn't fish in the sea? 6,500 islands in the middle of a sea that you can't really live in. what would the value of Åland Islands be then? And we said that, of course, we can do something as a bank, but if we involve the customers, then we probably can do much more. So we started the account, and we said for every euro you put in there, we put 0.2% to some project that actually worked to get the Baltic Sea in a better shape. Over these 20 years now, we have donated 1.6 million euros for projects that will improve the sea. Last year, we had 140 applications and 200,000 euro. This year, we have 400,000 euro actually to distribute. So if you know someone with good ideas, please let them apply for it. You can see that on our website. And we started, 2 years ago, we started another project, Baltic Sea Project, actually to get people with knowledge and to involve and to take care of those money that we can get, that we can support from the bank and with our customers, but also from other people and companies that want to get involved. Last year or a year and a half ago, we started to focus, is there other ways that we can actually be part of together with our customers and to make to raise the awareness of what to do and the carbon footprint and all those goals that they put up in Paris, that you can't accept that the global warming will increase with more than 2 degrees Celsius. Could we be a part of that? Could we help? And we found out that could it be that we hadn't seen anyone actually providing a way to watch to show your carbon footprint in your daily consuming. And we saw that as a bank we have a lot of data. We know where you actually do your consumption because you usually use a card. And on your card we can see in what shop you have been. How much have you filled up your car? We can see how much are you flying. All those things we can see. So could we use that actually to provide some kind of services? Because we also know that most people want to be good citizens. We all want to be good citizens. It feels good. Actually, when you go to bed, it feels good. But then we know also that we are human beings. And human beings are lazy. So if it isn't easy, then we do it tomorrow. So could we find an easy way to show that? Then we came up. We will do a brand new card, a card that is dedicated for the support of the Baltic Sea. And we called MasterCard and say we have this idea. But this idea, this card is done by corn. It's not a plastic card. It's done by corn. And we said that then this card should be dedicated for the Baltic Sea. So if you have seen a MasterCard before, probably you haven't seen a MasterCard without a MasterCard logo. Because we think that the front page should be devoted to the Baltic Sea. And you know, MasterCard is American, guys. Logo is quite important. We're competing with Visa, you know, and MasterCard have 2.5 billion cards out there, and the logo is quite important. And we said we think that this would be better, actually taking away your logo. All right. I think that, but they like the idea. They like the idea so much that they say that, how can we be a part of this? And they come up with the idea, and that is actually big elephants, like big banks and MasterCard. They usually are not that flexible. But I think that MasterCard showed quite good flexibility because this card has no backside. It has 2 front sides. That is flexible, I think. So they want MasterCard logo is on the backside from my perspective. From their perspective, it's on the other front side. We called KPMG. We said we want someone that is good on calculating carbon footprint. Could you actually? And they got excited. Yes, we want to be a part of this. So we work for free. And we called Sustainalytics, Thomson Reuters, those that are really good on handling market data. And they said, yes, we want to be a part of this. all come in and started to work free. And to provide that and to their customers also outside Åland and Finland and Sweden, we actually created a movie. It's a 2-minute movie that they can use, MasterCard and those other also, to promote it outside, and it looks like this.
A group of small islands in the middle of the Baltic Sea is home base for a local bank. For almost 100 years, it's supported the families of farmers, sailors and fishermen living from the sea. Now, with 90 million people living around the Baltic Sea coastline, dumping a mix of toxins into its waters, the situation is critical and oxygen levels are alarmingly low. The seabed is being strangled to death, and in parts, it's already dead.
It's obvious. In order to care for our customers, we need to care for the sea. As a bank, we analyze data to try to understand risks. We also wanted to apply this behavior in an environmental perspective, in order to influence everyday decisions made by our customers.
To enable this, the Bank of Åland developed the Baltic Sea Project credit card and the Åland Index. The index merges credit card transaction data with that of financial investment analysis and calculates the individual carbon footprint of each transaction. This alignment has created the world's first bank index for everyday environmental impact. The result is presented with a monthly bill, as are the options to compensate locally, globally, or by lifestyle. Over time, you can track and compare your behavior with the national average. For all the status levels, the bank is now replacing all its credit cards in Finland, and soon they will also be available in Sweden. But no man is an island. That's why the Bank of Åland is making the index available to any bank that believes that change is driven by insight, substantiated by data, and created together.
Right, and at the moment we are speaking with a couple of other banks that are interested in that, and I'm trying also to get MasterCard to put this as an default option for all the 2.5 billion cards, because that should really make a difference, and Åland would be on the map. There is, I will not go through now how it's calculated, but you see some of our partners there, and I think one of those things that have been really good, that people want to be involved. Also, those businesses, they want to be involved in this. So going from beautiful words to find something that is really, this is hands-on. Can you do something like that? It's actually been very, very easy to bring in. And the other thing we realized that, of course, from a customer's perspective, it's interesting, and people are curious to see actually what how does it look for me. But for them, from the employee side, if I look at our employees, they're really proud to be a part of something that feels good. So it's feeling good is actually good for business. And this is what it looks like now. If you look at on your internet bank, we show on our transaction the footprint, and you can measure it over time. You can look at your mobile phone. You can see the transaction in both euro and in kilogram. We show this to the Stockholm School of Economics. They have a part in there. There is global challenges. How to work with global challenges. And Professor Anders Richtner, he called it, this is a game changer, actually. And now they did a case study on it, and it's now a part of actually the education in the Stockholm School of Economics. And if you look at the last year, all the prizes we have won, and we, of course, this is raising brand awareness about us. Cannes Lyon that is the world championship in marketing. This year they had an almost 40,000 contribution in the applications for the competition, and Bank of Åland come up number 1. First Finnish company ever that's done that. And also the United Nations. I was invited actually to be there in New York in March. That man in the gray hair with the gray hair is Peter Thompson, that is heading the General Assembly, and there was Guterres and Mrs. Espinosa, that is running the climate change. Last picture, very soon. What does customers think about Bank of Åland? At least if you trust TNSC from Prospera, their guidance, in Finland, Ålandsbanken is ranked #1 in private banking. So by those customers that has the highest demands. And if you look at where are we actually coming up very, very, so it's on the soft side. Advice, personal contact, ethical standards. We were #1 last year, now we were #3, but still if you look at 4.19, it's the highest level up there. We have to behave. And also that makes sure that willingness to recommend. #1, what bank do actually the existing customer have most interest in recommending? And this is the last page. Actually, that drives growth. We've been growing by more than 10% annually the last 30 years. And I say that faster than that should not a prudent bank grow. And more on the brakes than on the throttle. Thank you.
Thank you. So the point of this on a gambling seminar is that it's connected to the discussion that we had before about how you market yourself, and if it's possible to market yourself in a more sustainable way and both improve your image and make more profit. And you, by saying this, says that yes, it's possible, at least in the banking business.
Yeah, definitely. And this is just one part. If you look at that, is that responsible investments. Today, I would say that Sweden is 5 to 10 years in front of Finland, because if you come to bigger institutions like the pension funds or biggest asset management, and you can't really tell where you put the money, then you're out. You will not even be allowed to get inside the door. So you have to have that story. And one of those things that I think that is really, really good for at the moment is to fund our business when we are doing lending, we give out bonds. And if we today now could actually show that the lending we do is actually connecting to something that is sustainable. When you build a new house, we know that it's good for environmental compared to an old house. If we can show that, and to the investors that come and buy our bonds, then the price for the bond will actually come down. So doing the right thing, starting to become good business. So the time when you said that you have to decide if you want to do something good or if you want to do good business, that is actually changing.
Yeah, but the financial business has been quite slow, let's say, compared to, for example, groceries and so on. So it's very interesting to see that it's actually happening now. So I just got reminded of something that I forgot before lunch, that we have also this thank you gift to the speakers here, which consists of a book, which is called When All Is Lost, about gambling addiction. And there is also this envelope that has something to do with sustainability. So thank you very much for coming here. And I also actually have one for Per Binde. So I'll thank him also now. So thank you again.